I solved the girlfriend problem. You know, the thing is, when you want to go travel, you can go to the website, you can click a few buttons, and you buy the ticket and you fly to the location. If you're hungry, you can walk outside, go into a shop, and buy food and eat it, and you're not hungry anymore. And I am an entrepreneur myself, so I always overthink everything. That's probably very familiar if you are an overachiever. That's what I like to call it. I overanalyze everything. I overthink everything, but I'm also very retarded. So I also just take a bunch of risks immediately. But in the back of my mind, I'm also overthinking decisions as well. The point in the hook was, if you have problem, you have solution. And I noticed, like, in my mental process, my balls are still drained from 2 days ago. I don't know what it is. I think so logically. I'd have zero lust at the moment, so I can think very rationally about females. And I think if I have a very solid, consistent relationship and a very lovely wife by my side, I think my business performance would go up. I only think about work and the business. How can I bring the business to $1 billion valuation ASAP? And for me personally, one of the very key factors would be having a very consistent relationship instead of always trying to date girls. And like, it's just a fact that if you're single and you want a relationship, you have to spend time and effort into dating girls to get into a relationship. Like, if you are walking outside and you're hungry, you have to take the risk to go into a shop to try the food, even though it might be fucked, even though it might be toxic, even though you might not like it, even though it might be too expensive. And there's always a risk to it. But by buying food, that risk is way smaller than by taking girls on dates and talking to them and getting emotionally invested. And I think I've solved it. I think I solved the girlfriend problem. So because my balls are drained and still empty, I don't know what that girl did to me, but it is good, but it's scary that I still have zero lust in my body. I went out today to the mall and I saw a bunch of attractive girls here, but I had zero zero desire to do anything with them, which is usually I am usually a very high testosterone, very horny guy. You know what I mean. You're probably it's either relatable or it sounds very weird. Anyway, in either case, I don't care. I've solved the girlfriend problem. If I sink my teeth into something, I'm gonna solve it. And further was overthinking it, like, okay, if I want girlfriend, how am I gonna get girlfriend? But that's not how it works, unfortunately. With every single thing in the world, it works like that. Besides love and a relationship. So I was talking to Moises, one of my best friends, and he has kind of the same issue, but he's not that focused on it right now. But we send these voice memos every day to each other, and we discuss mostly business topics, but also like love and relationships. And I was discussing this topic with him about getting into a relationship, and he noticed that I was overthinking it. So we were like going back and forth, and I eventually came up with the solution myself. So it is just a likelihood thing. And the beautiful part of this video is, I hope that you're still watching, because I think my younger me would really need this. Anything has a logical solution. So you want to be in a warmer location, then book a flight. If you want this and that, you just do the action to get there. But a relationship is the only real thing that you really need luck for. Like, no one is like, oh, I just found my wife because I was looking for her. No, you kind of just bump into her, and it has to kind of randomly just work out, you know? There is no good advice about relationships. So that's not why I'm not going to give you advice. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do to increase the likelihood of finding a girl to start a relationship with. Your mission, the thing that you're building on and working on, that you already should have, because otherwise you also don't want to get in a relationship, because then the relationship will become number one, and your mission is to and then you're focusing on the relationship, and that's very attractive to women. So you want your mission to be one. The thing is, if you're hyper obsessed on that mission, so for me, it's currently growing our own channel pages and the clients their channel pages and helping other people on the team, like internally, to grow their pages. So very big mission because organic growth is so difficult, but also so logical. So it's very interesting. It's going to cost me a lot of time, and I love it. I'm hyper obsessed, and I'm thinking about it all the time. To pursue that, I'm going to be working in cafes. And to pursue that, I don't want to be cooking because it's time consuming and I hate cooking. So I'm going to eat in restaurants. To pursue that, I'm going to travel to these boys and meet them in person. And like I've already met them in person, but just like continue on traveling and being in cool places and being in social environments and network with new people. That is because of the mission. Mission is number one. And because of mission number one, I'm chasing mission, which is number one. I'm putting myself in places where I can socialize and find new people. So, how are you ever going to find a restaurant if you're not in a public place where people could build restaurants? You can look into the gym, but you're not going to find a restaurant. Like maybe the restaurant of the gym. But you know what I mean? In the gym, you're going to find weights. In an airport, you're going to find gates to get a flight. Like, look in the place where things are going to be. So if you want an elegant female that is not on dating apps, that has her own life, that could that you could start a normal relationship with, she's probably working some sort of normal job in some sort of cafe or restaurant, or she's a waitress, or she's a flight attendant, or you see, she's in those places, or even she might be working on her own little side, her own little business in her cafe on her laptop or on her phone, or her music career. She's out there as well, and she knows it as well that she could meet people this way. So, if you want a hoe, go to the club, go on Tinder. Um, there are plenty of situations where you can find hoes, even in restaurants, to be honest, but more so on other guys' their tables, and you can do that. Anyway, not gonna go into the topic, but that's where you find the girls. So put yourself in those situations, and the beautiful thing is that I usually give advice about things that I've solved already, but I didn't solve this already. So I kind of give myself advice too. Just increase the likelihood, and you're not gonna force yourself into a relationship, and you still kind of need the abundance of girls around you in other situations, so that you don't become needy once you find that girl. Fuck. This topic is so fascinating to me because it is out of my control, and that bothers me a lot. I want to be in control of everything, and finding your soulmate and your wife doesn't is not in my control, and I hate it. But I can increase the likelihood. So if you see that girl or a girl that you find interesting, go up to her and say like, "Hey, my phone is dead. What time is it?" Or, "Hey, I literally just got to this country. Do you know where a gym is? Or where's the nearest grocery store?" Or I don't know, random shit. Literally the time. Or like, "Do you live here?" Something. Or, "I like your purse." Or, "I like those pants." Whatever. That that's enough. And I'm saying this to myself, by the way. I'm not giving you advice. I'm talking to myself here. So it's not rocket science, but it's out of my control, and that's super annoying. Fuck. And hopefully, touch wood, in a few months, I will go to this channel and see this kind of series in videos talking about relationships and love. And hopefully, at the time, I'm in a lovely relationship, but you can't force it. You gotta kind of let it happen, and you're gonna increase the likelihood, but don't look in, don't go to the snack bar if you want a salad, you know? So don't go to the club if you want a quality wife. Don't go on Tinder if you want a quality wife. That's it. Goodbye.